Hey everybody, my name is Tara Lagana. I am a team manager and I'm so excited to be joining with you guys today. So I'm going to give this a little bit of time. I know it takes a while before it bounces out that people are live and people can join in. So just sit and chat for a little bit. Kim's here. Kim's from my own team. Hello, my darling. And Miss Karen. All right, so once again, I'm going to get started. My name's Tara Lagana. I am currently a team manager. And my team, we're called the Team Sleeping Beauties. I'll tell you why later. We'll figure that all out. So I'm coming to you guys to talk a little bit about time management today. And hopefully it's not going to take real long, because that's not really effective time management, is it? Okay, so first of all, hot hollows. All right, so it is noon Central Standard Time. I live in Illinois, so it's noon my time, which makes it 1 o'clock Eastern, 11 and 10 as we move further west. My goal being that hopefully this can snag in on your lunch break, or you can do it in a coffee break, but that this is not too long of a conversation to discuss some time management and still go on with the rest of your day. I've actually already worked a full day this morning. I've almost been up for 10 and a half, 11 hours. I work as a flight attendant. So I'm gone for big, huge stretches of time. I do my business almost exclusively on the road. It is not uncommon for me to be doing things for my business midway in between flights. So I've actually already worked a full day today. I worked a full day the last 3 days. I've got a couple of days off and I'm hitting the road again. And why does that even matter? It matters in terms of time management, because if I can do my business, you can do your business as well. So I've been with the company, it'll be 3 years at the end of October. I hit team manager within 6 months, senior team manager a couple of months after that. I have earned both the Hawaii and the Dominican Republic trips. So something that I'm doing along the way is working, and maybe it'll work for you guys. I tend to be a very straightforward talker. My team will tell you I don't have a lot of time to mince words, and maybe that's good and maybe that's bad, but that's just the reality of the situation and how my time management works. So I work long days. I work 12 to 14 hours without a break. That's just how we work. So if you think we're sitting in the back eating bonbons and talking about people, we don't have time to do that. We have other things to do. So if you want to get something done, find a busy person to do it. That's like an old stereotype, but it works, okay? So here's a couple of things. What I have found successful in life and in this business is that you need, and you can only focus on in your life, 3 or 4 big things. Big things. I'm not talking laundry and groceries and all that stuff. 3 to 4 big things in your life at one point in time. I am assuming, because you were sitting in this training, that Jamberry is one of those things. So I'm going to tell you what my 4 big things are. It's my family, right? I have a 9-year-old son. It is my job, which I am passionate about. It is working out, which I do. I do crazy workouts. And it is Jamberry. That's it. That's 4. So those are my 4 big things that I concentrate in my life. Sometimes you've got different seasons in your life. Different things are going to flow in and out. If you're sitting in this group, you've determined that Jamberry is one of those big things that you're willing to work on right now. Why do I tell you that? Because yes, you want to be busy, and yes, you want to be productive, but you can't spread yourself too thin as well. So 3 or 4 big things to work on. That's really, really, really key. And then you got to get out of your own way. And you're just going to have to get to work, okay? So I'm assuming that Jamberry is one of those big things. And what I said to myself, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, when I was struggling to do my first really intense workout program, we can talk more about my workout at some other time. But when I was struggling to get through that, I said, I have to just get out of my own gosh darn way and get to work. So when it is time to work, whether it is my job, whether it is working out, or whether it's Jamberry, there are absolutely no distractions, because I don't have time for distractions in my life. When it's time to work, I get to work. I told you I work 12 to 14 days, and I why do I keep saying days? 12 to 14 hours. I don't take a break because time for break is later. Time to break is after dinner. Time to break is when my son is in bed and I get time with my husband. Time to break is when I have a few minutes for me. But before that point in time, I'm not scrolling Facebook. I'm not talking on the phone with a friend. I'm not doing things that aren't necessary. I'm not checking in to see who won the Red Sox game last night. I'm just focused on what I have to do at that point in time. And one of the biggest things I do is I set my priorities the day before. So I already mentioned to you guys what I do for work. Doesn't mean I can't set priorities. So every night, I'm going to jot down what I need to do the next day. It includes things like groceries. You know, I've focused on the 3 to 4 big things, but I got to include the little things. I can't have more than 6 things on my list. If there are more than 6 things on my list, something's not going to get done, okay? So 6 things. For me, it might be grocery shopping, laundry, and then it's going to be workout. All right, we're going to pencil all of those things in. Then it might be take my son to the pool for an hour, and then it's also going to be Jamboree. So I've got to set my priorities the night beforehand. I'm going to encourage you guys to do the same, because then I wake up and I'm not like, what was I going to do? Who was I going to talk to? Because I might subdivide that list. That Jamboree list might be go live, talk to 3 people, plan your next parties, whatever it is, get your orders out, whatever it is. I might subdivide it, but again, I'm not going to subdivide any more past 6 because it's not going to get done. So the key, one of the keys to my success is to set those priorities in advance the night before. And then I'm going to work. I'm going to get up and I'm going to work until the work is done. That may mean that some days Jamboree takes 15 minutes. Some days it takes 3 hours. My schedule allows that on days that I'm home. Some days it allows that on days that I'm at work. But I've got to set my priorities based on the time that I have available to me. You're the only one that knows the time that you have available to you. So I urge you, set your priorities for life, for your business the night beforehand. Get up and get it done. I'm a morning person. I'm not going to lie. Like I said to you, I've already been up for about 12 hours today. I had to be at work for 4:45 a.m. Eastern time. Okay? So yeah, maybe I'm looking a little tired at the moment, all right? Get up and get it done. Does that mean you have to get up half an hour before your kids do? Maybe. If that gives you the peace and the serenity that you need to set your day up for success. We'll talk about that later. Okay, so I'm also really big on keeping it simple. I really subscribe to the keep it simple, stupid philosophy of getting through whatever it is. That is not that I don't pay attention to things that are important, but I have to know my strengths. What are my strengths? My strengths as a Jamboree consultant, I think, can prove that I can do this from anywhere, that I can form relationships and talk to anybody. I can talk to 7,000 to 8,000 people on a 4-day trip at work, okay? That's a skill set that I have that I can use in my business. I am not afraid to start conversations. So what is your strength? What's your strength? You have a strength for your business. It's why you're here. It's why you're pushing for LC. It's why most of you are hungry for a little bit more. All right? My strengths do not lie in graphic design. Oh, ain't nobody got time for that. A lot of you have time for that, and I applaud you guys. I borrow from the best. I might borrow an image, I might borrow an idea, I might borrow a game, I might borrow from people who I admire, and the women, the leaders on this team, oh my gosh, my heart. They are, without a doubt, the reason why I'm still doing this business. All of you have the capacity to find peers, whether they're on other teams or not. It would be very simple for all of us at the end of this month. July's wrapping up. For all of us to kind of sit down and be like, who wants a battle buddy? You want a battle buddy? You want a battle buddy? You want a battle buddy? Find your battle buddies. Let them have different strengths than you do. So I got to be honest. If I am in need of a idea for True Shine, I'm talking to Christina Tucker. If I'm in need of an idea for a manicure, Tracy Clark is my go-to girl. If I am in need of some branding ideas, I'm talking to Jenny Otto. There are people that I'm talking to here. They are your leaders. You all have the same upline. It is Rochelle Cornish. You all have the same upline, okay? This is a phenomenal opportunity for you. So find what other people are doing really, really, really well. Share what you do really well, but not every person, and I sincerely believe this, and I know some of you have been coached a little bit differently, and that's okay. Not every person needs to make their own graphics. Not every person needs to do something that they're not strong at. I'm not talking about going live. I'm not talking about breaking out of your comfort zone, but find your strengths, because then you can go out and do them and do more of them. And then you get stronger in other areas as you borrow from other people, but find your strengths and capitalize on what you do well. I build relationships. I get people into my VIP groups. I am selling Style Box. I'm doing Club 12 times a couple. I am doing what works for me, and that's relationship building. So I might not always make the best application video. You don't want to know how long it took me to be good at TrueShine. Good Lord, who has time for TrueShine? Okay, these things, this is my money maker. Okay, do you know how many of these I sold this morning at 5:50 in the morning when I got on my aircraft? A lot. Okay, because I'm talking to people and building relationships and I'm moving forward. If you've got a downline, if you want a downline, if you need a downline, pick up the phone. Holla at your girls. Okay, because here's the deal. Nobody has time for miscommunication that can occur via text. Nobody has time for the miscommunication that can occur via email. As a sponsor, part of your time, and we've already determined that this is one of your big goals, right? Part of your time for your business, part of your big goals is Jamboree, but part of your time management where you're working is to be as effective as possible. And you need to talk to your downline, but I mean, talk to your downline. So I coach my girls, and I coach them by phone, whether they are brand new, whether they have been with me for 6 or 7 months, whether they have been with me since the start of my journey. I pick up the phone. I don't have time for this back and forth thing. I can turn my phone off for 4, 5, 6, 12 hours at a time. If you've asked me a question, it probably doesn't matter anymore. So here's the thing. If you are going to be a sponsor, you have to be committed to making that one of the little facets, one of your goals that you set the night before. The girls who I talk to via telephone thrive. The girls that do not have the time to talk to me do not thrive. And I know that. So pick up the phone. Pick up the phone with your hostesses. Pick up the phone with your customers. Pick up the phone with your downline and get to the root of what's going on. That is time management 101 from my point of view as a working person who's got other things to do. Acuity Scheduling is free. It's a scheduling software. I use it every month. Start of the month, my girls who are on here who will tell you, I say, hey, this is when I can talk. You can do it with your hostesses. Plus, you're going to build a better relationship. I know my strengths. My strengths are relationship building. Is not doing some other stuff, okay? So time management, okay. I've probably talked for too long. I haven't even looked. Okay, so 4 big things. Number 1, you can only work on 3 to 4 big things in your life. What are those things? What do you want to be an expert at? Where do you want to thrive? Set those things. Go with it. I'm assuming one is Jamboree. When you make that assumption on what those big things are, get out of your own damn way. Get out of your own damn way, okay? When it's time to work, you're going to sit down and you're going to work, because the night before, so this is point 2, you have planned out what needs to be done for the day, including the little bitty things. But those 3 or 4 things that you are determined that you are going to work on better be part of your daily plan for the next day. So for me, okay, I told you what my 4 big things are. My family, my job, Jamboree, and working out. First thing that goes on my list every single night is workout. And then it's Jamboree. And then it's like play with my son or do something for my family, okay? So write your list. 3.3. Keep it simple. Don't try to be somebody that you're not, okay? I tend to be a little, maybe a little too out there, a little too straightforward. It's just, you've got to find you. You've got to find what works for you. Borrow from the best. Make it your own. Please don't ever steal anything word for word, but build on what works for you and then move forward. You can always learn more as you go forward. Get on the phone, talk to people. This is going to save you time. It really is going to save you time. That becomes part of your plan the night before. Hey, I have a live conversation at noon. Why did I do it at noon? It's noon my time, 1 Eastern, because I thought maybe some of you might have some time in the middle of the day. Last point for you, because I've talked too much and people have dropped in and out and I don't know what's going on. Okay, so last point. I want you to overplan and underwork. I want you to work smarter, not harder. My goal every month with my other job is to get paid for far more than I work, and that is possible when we build our schedules the right way. I want to get paid for far more than I'm working with Jamberry, right? That doesn't mean I don't support my team. I want to overplan and I have to underwork. I stack all my parties together. I do like 2 segments of parties. I give myself 2 weeks off every month. Find what works for you. I am happy to talk to anybody about that. Like I said, I'll get on the phone. We'll have a conversation. It'll be fantastic. I'm going to have one video slide. What's a video slide? One slide for you guys with homework on it. That'll be hitting at you in just a little bit. Hope this wasn't too long. Hope you guys got something from it. Keep rocking.